let's take a look at our top selections for Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer. Sunday's feature race at Aqueduct, a very competitive edition of the Damon Runyon Stakes. These are 3-year-olds, state breds, going 7/8 of a mile for $100,000. Let's take a peek at this field. Mike, the 5, excellent timing. This horse is 5-2 on David Aragona's morning line, understandably so. Big figure last time out, now with the Chad Brown barn.
Yeah, he's got the fig, Dan. He ran a fast race, breaking his maiden the last time we saw him. I guess he's been privately purchased since then, turned over to Chad Brown. This horse, he's run really well in both of his starts, Dan, and he has speed.
He has speed, but as we take a look at the Timeform US pace projector, this pace could heat up. Red bar scenario, fast pace expected. The 8th, the King Cheek, is kind of fast. So is Reggae Music Man. Excellent timing, however, expected to be the speed of the speed, according to Timeform US.
Yeah, I don't know how much I agree with that pace projector. I guess we'll see, Dan. There's certainly a chance things get heated up front, but I didn't find that much speed in this race. We'll see.
Let's take a look at the one a long time ago's winning career debut back on January the 21st for West Point Thoroughbreds and Jorge Abreu. I like this performance, Mike. A first-time starter, got up close to a solid pace, was unfazed by being in and among horses on the backstretch. The trip worked out. All the holes opened up, but we see a long time ago have a target, and he comes and gets this horse in the shadow of the wire. It was a professional debut.
No, I agree with that. I thought he ran well in here too. He did get a good trip. He was very professional. It also, it helps, Dan, that his trainer, Jorge Abreu, he's excellent with first-time starters, man. I mean, it feels like he has them all ready to run. This horse was ready to run and got the job done.
Eagle Orb is one of the most accomplished horses in this race by far. Winner of the Notebook Stakes the last time he sprinted. And that could be the key. They tried to stretch him out against some tough competition in his last 2 races. Open company in both the Jerome and then the Withers, where he faced a legitimate Kentucky Derby contender in New York right now in risk-taking. Class relief, but perhaps most importantly, distance relief for Eagle Orb.
Agreed, Dan. The class relief is big for this horse, but I think so is the distance. I mean, cutting back feels like it's really going to work for him. And I'll tell you what, he didn't run poorly at all. I didn't think in the Jerome or the Withers. He took runs at both of those races. The distances are a little too far, and those horses are a little too good. His Notebook was good. He feels like he's a better sprinting. They found a really good spot for him here.
I wonder if I underestimated Perfect Munnings a little bit, adding blinkers for trainer Todd Pletcher. This horse won the Rego Park in his second lifetime start. I thought he had a pretty good trip. He prompted the pace 3 wide on the turn, and then he grinded it out. And that's kind of his running style. Maybe he was just overmatched last time out in the Gander. That Nicky the Vest looks like a nice horse.
Yeah, Nicky the Vest crushed that field. This horse was racing on at the end, but he never looked like he was going to get anything. I feel like we look at him the same way, maybe, Dan. I didn't really know what to do with him. I'm not going to be surprised when he's good enough to beat this field. His first 2 starts were fine. I mean, I thought he got good trips winning both of those races, but he also ran, well enough to beat a field like this. I wasn't sold on him. I just want to see what kind of price he goes off at. The 41 on the morning line to me feels like a pretty good price on this horse.
Let's take a peek at the debut victory for the 4, Echoes of Destiny, dismissed at 26-1 in this $40,000 New York bred maiden claimer. And Mike, this pace was hot and heavy from the start. Echoes of Destiny received a very good ride down towards the inside. He's going to get to the outside. He has work to do, but they're coming back to him.
Yeah, he took advantage in here, not to take anything away from this horse who showed up and ran first time out. But this race set up perfectly for him. You see the 3 horses that dueled in front of him. They're all gassed right now. And this horse comes and runs over the top of them.
Excellent timing is the morning line favorite, the number 5. Let's watch the second lifetime start, the very impressive win with the big number that Mike alluded to in the open, an 81 buyer. Excellent timing, just took this race over on the turn, opens up the lead, and really sprints on home. This is a nice eye-catching stretch run from excellent timing, and if he controls things up front, he could be very tough right back.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he does. And this is obviously a tougher race. I mean, he didn't beat much of a field of maidens here. It wasn't a strong group, but he did it the way I think you wanted to see him do it. This is a horse who ran really well in his first start. He got bet that day. He didn't break well. He rushed up to set a good pace. He was obviously way more professional second time out. And Chad, you can look this up in Formulator. He's got great numbers with horses like this.
It's Gravy, the number 6, was expected to win his most recent start, and he did. We're going to take a look at it right now. He was favored based on the fact that he was already multiple stakes placed coming into this maiden race, and he was parked on the outside by Eric Cancel, and he's going to work over this muddy surface to get up. He's a solid horse. 70 Beyer speed figure for Kelly Breen. I like him cutting back a little bit to 7 furlongs, Mike, and I think he has enough tactical speed to work out any kind of trip depending on the pace.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I think you put it perfectly, Dan. He's a solid horse. He's not fast enough at this stage of the game, I don't think, to beat this field. But he can get the right trip in here. He's shown up and he's been right there every time. He's already been beaten by Eagle Orb. He already finished behind Excellent Timing. So he's got some work to do on that front.
The 7 Reggae Music Man finished behind a long, long time ago in the race we saw when discussing that horse's video. He was 3rd in that race. Perhaps he flattered that horse when coming back to win at this distance. Here's the win for Reggae Music Man on February the 13th. And in this race, he was just able to take control and he kept right on rolling along. He is improving with each and every start. Always nice to see Pat Kelly have a nice horse. He historically does well at Aqueduct over the winter.
Yeah, this horse is pretty good too. He's run okay in all 3 of his races. There's another horse. He's a little slow for this field. He really did, Dan. This is one of those days, February 13th. The rail was very, very strong here. This horse was, the speed on the inside the entire way. So maybe he took advantage a little bit, but he's actually run pretty well in all 3 of his starts.
The 8th, the King Cheek, is a multiple race winner, and we'll go back to his last start on February the 21st, a race in which he was able to make the front. And the King Cheek, though, he was kind of in trouble turning into the stretch. It just seemed like Market Alert had his number at about the 5/16 to the quarter pole. To his credit, the King Cheek battled back, but he's down inside on a good part of the track.
Yeah, I agree with you. This was another day where the rail was the place to be. And maybe that's why he's, sort of still hanging around. Because I agree with you. When you watch that race back, you could just tell Market Alert was going to beat him. It just felt like he was going to beat him by more than this. And maybe the rail just allowed this horse to hang around a little bit longer. But he's got another figure on the go back at Park Stand that would give him a chance in here.
The X factor in the race by far is the 9. It's a Gamble, who is 15-1 on the morning line. This will be the first time since his career debut that It's a Gamble has raced against New York breds. He's been taking on some good competition, but on turf. He's now going to race on dirt for the first time. And although he worked a bullet on dirt at Palm Meadows on February the 28th, this pedigree to me is all grass.
Yeah, he's all turf on the pedigree side. We already know he's a good turf horse, Dan, and he's also probably a better sprinter than he is a router, so cutting back works for him. The question is, what's he going to do first time on dirt here at a big price? Listen, I'm not going to argue with anybody who wanted to take a shot because I feel like he could be the most talented horse in the race. I just didn't really want to bet him on dirt.
No, that's a very, very good point. The turn back and distance works for this horse. All he needs is a little bit of pace. And of course, he has to handle the surface. Top pick time for the Damon Runyon. I respect the 5 Excellent Timing. So do you. He's our second pick. You're going with the 2 Eagle Orb on the cutback. This is a horse that can fire in sprint races. And again, turning back and distance should help.
Yeah, I think the turn back works for him. The little class drop works for him too, Dan. And he's just he's not any kind of a superstar. He's just a solid horse. And I think this is what he wants to do. And he's facing, as far as I'm concerned, his 2 main rivals in here are both right off of maiden wins. So I'm going to take Eagle Orb in this race.
I'm curious to see if a long, long time ago can take that necessary step forward in his second lifetime start. Mike mentioned that Jorge Abreu is a very hot debut trainer. Now he's got to get this horse to move forward off of his winning debut, but he did some nice things in there and he's well bred enough. I think he can take that step forward. 2531 for Mike, 1583 for me. It's $100 grander at the Big A on Sunday. The Damon Runyon. Good luck.